Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. I'm sure a lot of you are shocked and probably, I don't know. I am online to say something and to share something that none of you ever knew. This is something that happened 6 years ago in my life. I'm sure most of you who have been following me for the past 8 to 10 years know that I have been married twice. My first marriage was 2018, while I was 23 years of age. I was naive, I was a young girl, you know. I was a spoken word artist at that moment. I believe myself and my sister Alhan Islam were the two most renowned poets at that time, 2018. And I was glad and happy with what I was doing. And then a husband came. And I got married. And I believe everyone knows the reason why it went viral. But none of you ever had the reason or the story behind why I went viral. I will share the story today. I will not mention names. Do you know why? Because I am highly experienced. I work closely with lawyers. I have 3 sons on retainer and 2 esquires. I have 5 lawyers on retainer. So I don't make any decision just like that, and I don't talk baselessly just like that. There is something very little that you would say and it will compromise you. There is something very little that you would say and people will sue you. So I'm careful with what I say. And ya Allah, may Allah not make my tongue to compromise me today. Because I'm very, very angry. I'm livid right now. 2018. I'm going to give you descriptions but not names. There is a wife of a king, a Yoruba king. I was a very close friend of that king at that moment, 2018. No one knew I was divorced because I never publicized my divorce, because it was the court that granted me annulment. I have never seen my ex-husband since he left. 21 days later, after our marriage in the year 2018. Since from that day till today, I have never seen my first ex-husband. I have never heard of him. And nobody knew I was divorced then because I never publicized it. So I was very close with that king. And I think he got married like 3 months. It was just 3 months, barely he remarried. He added another wife, a second wife. The wife is from Kano. I won't mention her name. We will spend hours on the call. There was no relationship going on. There was no romantic relationship. We were just friends. He was just attracted by my intellect. And it got to her. And I even told him, sir, Your Royal Majesty, stop doing this. She will think we're lovers. And he will she will understand. I'm a king. It got to her and she reached out to my ex-husband thinking I was married to call his wife to order, who is me, myself. And I, my ex-husband, my first ex-husband, I was his enemy because he was, I won't mention the word, but he was a fraud. And I was part of the people who took him to EFCC because even if it's my father, I'm telling you, I'll take it. Integrity is my watchword. So he felt I betrayed him because I always stand for the truth. You know, husbands and wives, I was young, I was naive. I was sending my husband sensual videos, never nude, alhamdulillah. So they got a mutual enemy and they did a fake chat and renamed it like I was sending it to that king. And they sent it to bloggers. And they didn't mention my name at first. They were like, she's a Northeastern poet. She comments on House of Fulani page. I knew it was me. And they sent me a message. They said, this is a warning. stay away from my husband or we'll publish you and your videos and your nudes. I knew where those videos were coming from. They were coming from my ex-husband, because I knew who I am. I told her, you got it from my ex-husband. I was never flirting with my marriage. If there's anybody who claims, please today you should come forward. I was scared. I was 23. I was crying. I rushed to someone I look up to, who was that king's wife friend. I rushed to her at her restaurant. I will not mention her name, but she's a motivational speaker. She's from Yobe. She's just recently got married for the third time. She's married to a rep. She has a restaurant. She has a furniture company. I will not mention her name. I've not mentioned her name. Maybe you know who she is. I rushed to her crying. I said, Auntie Wanchi, please call Wachi. She's your friend. She wants to expose me. She wants to defame me because so reasons. This is what I did to my ex-husband. She hugged me while I was crying, and she said, Shifa, bazan bari a ci mutuncin ki ba. Bazan bari a wulakanta ki ba. Calm down. I said, thank you. Me leaving, she called her best friend. Her best friend is now married to a present rep. She's also a politician in Kaduna. She's from Kaduna. She's fair, she's short. I will not mention her name. And I think she has a hall somewhere in Maitama. She called her, allegedly, because I was narrated. My ex-boyfriend, whom we almost got married together with, they don't know I dated him. He was there, present. He was the only one present. They called that wife of the king, and they were like, publish Shifa, because all our boyfriends keep asking of her everything. Shifa, please, let's expose her. Let's make her a controversial person so that no one will date or marry a controversial person. That night, my ex-boyfriend came to me and he said, stay away from this person, stay away from... I was there. They made that call and they instigated that you were published. This happened 6 years ago. Nobody heard of it. But he said, Shifa, never bring this out, because I was the only person present and they respect me. If you bring it out, they will know I was the one. I kept this buried in my heart for 6 years. Nobody has ever heard of it. But I saw them with that eyes. I knew who they were and I stayed away from them. But I'm a forgiving person. If it doesn't hurt me, if it still doesn't hurt me, I'm lying. It does hurt me. That aside, I remarried again. I got married to a uniformed man who is presently a Rear Admiral, a 39 Corps officer. May God bless him for me. That man stood for me. And we have a child together. One child. But my status is I am neither taken nor single. That's the best I would say. But I will say the father of my daughter is one of my mentors in this world. And he is one of the people I will forever be indebted to in this life. This man trained me to be an officer because he's an int officer. I took tests, I took exams, I passed, and I know what it's like to vet. And I know what elicitation means. And if I ever allow you to take information from me, I trust you and I'm just looking at you. Listen, he trained me for the world. And alhamdulillah, and may Allah bless him for that. I will forever pray for him. He is my greatest mentor, my greatest advisor, and my greatest chief. When I got married to him, those same two categories of women reached out, took a private investigator, found out who I married, and they called him and they said, this is this about me. And he called me and he told me. And I never mentioned it to the world. They wanted to sabotage my marriage. Barely 2 weeks of marriage. I kept quiet. Now, after the first controversy